From News 3 Now, this is breaking news.
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for joining us. We start this noon hour with breaking news. Nearly a dozen school districts across the state of Wisconsin have reported fake school shooting calls, including right here in Madison. You're looking at a map of all the districts that have seen calls this morning. That includes East High School right here in Madison. The calls seem to start in the Milwaukee area, and in just the last hour or two, they've seen about 7 calls this morning. Our partners in Green Bay are also reporting a threat call there. In the last hour, the FBI says it's investigating these threats as swatting calls, where a caller reports an active shooter situation, but note that threat is not real. The FBI says they take swatting calls seriously because they can put innocent people in danger. The FBI put out a statement saying, quote, "We have no information to indicate a specific and credible threat." They're asking everyone to stay vigilant and report anything suspicious to law enforcement. You can find their full statement on our website right now at channel3000.com. And we have a crew at East High School where that threat was reported about an hour ago. Our Catherine Merck is there now. Catherine, what do you see?
Mark, I'm outside here out of East High School with MMSD spokesperson Tim Lamont to answer some of our questions about what sort of happened here this morning. So can you walk me through when the call came in to the school district?
Sure. Well, we had a couple calls this morning. First, Dane County Dispatch gave us a call to warn us that there was a swatting campaign, which that is a string of calls happening at schools across southern Wisconsin, and these calls were reporting active shooter incidents with multiple victims. And so this was occurring. It started out in southeastern Wisconsin, Racine, Kenosha, Milwaukee, Pleasant Prairie. So these were happening. So Dane County was made aware. They called us in advance, and so we were preparing for the potential of a call coming in. Right around 10:45, just before 11 o'clock, a call did come into 911 dispatch reporting an active shooter incident happening here at East High School. And that requires a response. We have to take all of these threats seriously. And so we knew it was highly likely a part of this swatting campaign, but we did have police respond. They were able to quickly determine that the call was a part of that campaign and false.
What was sort of the reaction from students and faculty about this threat here?
Well, it's always a scary ordeal, a situation, obviously, and so it increases anxiety of our staff, of our students, and our community. We want to know that our school spaces are safe, and so we were working really aggressively to communicate to people that the school building was safe and that this was a false call.
This isn't MMSD's first threat. How do typically you guys respond to these types of situations, and how do you feel like this lined up compared with how that lines up?
Well, school districts deal with this all the time. We get false bomb threats and false fire alarms pulled and things like this that will occur. I know this has been happening in other parts of the country with this active shooter swatting campaigns happening. So it does happen. And we understand that it raises anxiety, and we really work with our kids who have anxiety to provide them the support after these things happen. But we have to take every one of these threats seriously. So we respond the way we are trained. We follow our protocols until we're able to determine that the building is safe.
MMSD spokesperson Tim Lamont, thank you. We're going to send it back to the studio now. Mark?
Catherine, thank you. We expect this breaking story will continue to develop throughout the afternoon as we hope to get more information on who may be behind these calls. If you're interested in getting those updates, we encourage you to download our news app. We'll push out any new information about these threats as soon as we receive them. In other news, a Janesville woman has life-threatening injuries after police say she was stabbed 5 times last night. Janesville police say they were called to the 1000 block of North Osborne Avenue around 6:30 p.m. When they got there, they found a 19-year-old woman with those stab wounds. Police said that she was in surgery last night, but we haven't heard any updates on her condition yet this morning. Police arrested a 19-year-old man from Janesville. They're recommending that he be charged with attempted homicide. Here in Madison, police say a man was arrested early this morning after a fight over a drug deal that didn't end up being a drug deal. Police say a man tried to buy drugs from his friend but figured out during the deal that the drugs were fake. He discovered he was actually buying soap. after licking it. He punched his friend who called police. The buyer was arrested a short time later and could face battery charges. Let's head to the Weather Center now. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart has a look at your certified most accurate forecast. It's a nice day out there.
It's a nice day. Basically, we're looking at a little warmer than yesterday as the temperatures have climbed up. But right now, we're already in the 50s, and we're well on our way to getting up to where we should be this time of year, which is the upper 50s for average highs. Right now, Dane County, 55 in Sauk City, still holding on to 49 in Edgerton, but everyone should be climbing back in the 50s. A few spots getting close to 60 today. Once again, this is where we should be this time of year. Overall, we say we should cool back down to around 50 by this afternoon with some clouds out there, but mainly high clouds. You can see on satellite right now, we still under the influence of that northwest flow aloft. So we have these little weak waves that come down with some cloud cover, a little bit of wind shift, but overall, not much goes. But that's going to change out west. We're starting to already see that ridge push east, and those clouds that are in the Dakotas, that's the warm front that's going to be beginning to lift tonight and to tomorrow, and that's definitely going to start changing our temperatures. Already 24-hour change to the west is already indicating almost 20-degree difference. That is what we're going to see tomorrow, and I'll break down how high we'll get and how long it'll last in a little bit later.
All right, we'll check back, Greg. Thank you. A day after vowing to stay in power, British Prime Minister Liz Truss has resigned. Her tumultuous 6-week term in office was marked by policies that rocked the financial markets and led to outrage among lawmakers, including those within her own party. Ian Lee reports from London.
Given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party.
Britain's Prime Minister Liz Truss, who took over from Boris Johnson in early September, announced she is leaving, and in doing so becomes the shortest-serving Prime Minister in British history.
I have spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
She will be remembered as the last Prime Minister to ever meet the Queen, but the Conservative leader will also be remembered for a massively criticized budget of tax and spending cuts that spooked the markets and sent the pound plunging, forcing Truss to fire her finance minister and reverse those cuts.
What a mess. And this is not just a soap opera at the top of the Tory party. It's doing huge damage to our economy and to the reputation of our country.
Truss apologized, but it wasn't enough, with polls showing she had a 10% approval rating.
It makes you wonder whether she should vote Conservative again. But I'm delighted to hear that she's finally gone.
Truss said the Conservative Party will hold a leadership election within the next week and that she will remain in office until a successor is chosen. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
And the White House said this morning that the United States will continue its close relationship with Britain and the next British Prime Minister. Well, there's a new batch of COVID-19 variants brewing, and some health experts say it could cause a surge this winter. The strands are already increasing cases in Europe and Singapore. The co-director of the Center for Vaccine Development at Texas Children's Hospital has dubbed these the scramble variants because they have letters like Q and X that would get big scores in a Scrabble board game. The CDC says these variants were responsible for nearly a third of all the COVID-19 cases reported nationwide last week. The company taking some of the blame for the baby formula shortage is now trying to make amends. Abbott Nutrition is planning to invest $500 million in a new factory to manufacture specialty infant formulas. The shutdown of Abbott's plant in Sturgis, Michigan, and a recall of some of its products led to a formula shortage that's ongoing. Abbott says it's in the final stages of finding a site for its new factory. The DNR announced Wisconsin will receive over $140 million in federal funding to improve our wastewater and drinking water infrastructure. It's coming from the bipartisan infrastructure law signed last November. $79 million is going to the state's revolving loan fund that combines Wisconsin's clean water and safe drinking water loan. The rest of the money will go to replacing leaf service lines and addressing PFAS contamination. Well, there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. McDonald's is teaming up with Krispy Kreme to offer customers a sweet new treat. Details coming up in the Money Watch report.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe she could sell her house.
What could go wrong?
Like listing your house, then dealing with all the trouble, expense, not to mention closing costs. We Buy Ugly Houses can buy your house fast for all cash as is with no hassle. Call or click to sell quick.
Join us at the Madison Fall Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns. Visit and get inspired for your 2023 building and remodeling projects. Go to MadisonParadeOfHomes.com and purchase your tickets today.
Nothing beats a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhoffels. And right now, save $300 on Tempur-Pedic Breeze mattresses, starting at just $53 a month. The Tempur-Breeze uses next-generation cooling technology, allowing you to sleep up to 8 degrees cooler all night long. And you can rest easy when you take advantage of Steinhoffels' 60-month zero-interest financing. Isn't it time you got a great night's sleep? Relax. It's Steinhoffels.
Over 800 convicted criminals released. 270 murderers and attempted murderers released. 44 child rapists released. Tony Evers' parole commission has released hundreds of violent criminals early, including some of the worst killers in Wisconsin history. Evers' liberal policies are making our communities less safe. Tony Evers put criminals first and our family's safety last.
Memories matter. This bend on Cox Hollow Lake was one of Dad's favorite fishing holes. Crest Funeral and Cremation Service helped us make sure he's never forgotten. Making it personal. It's how you heal. We are Crest. We truly believe your memories matter.
With Dad's arthritis, he needs extra help around the house, so I called a Grace. Yes, a Grace. With their agent home service, he can stay at home.
That's where I want to spend these months. With hospice care from a Grace, I can stay home with my dog and my grandkids and their laughter.
I had no idea laughter could be a part of my life again after Joe died. But through a Grace, I found hope and healing.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
These guys will buy our house without even seeing it.
Online buyers make offers that seem attractive at first, only to lower or cancel at the last minute. We Buy Ugly Houses won't reduce or cancel our firm cash offers before closing. Call or click to sell quick.
Soon, Spirit Airlines could be no more. Shareholders for the biggest budget air carrier in the U.S. have voted to accept a $3.8 billion buyout from JetBlue. The acquisition would make JetBlue the nation's 5th largest airline, but the deal is likely to face scrutiny from federal regulators. 2 iconic fast food chains are also joining forces. McDonald's is partnering with Krispy Kreme to test selling donuts at select locations. The donuts will be available starting next week at 9 restaurants in Louisville, Kentucky, and the surrounding area. Also next week, more historic change is coming to American coins. Actress Anna Mae Wong is the latest to be featured on the quarter as part of the U.S. Mint's American Women series. Wong, whose career spanned from 1919 through the 1950s, has been called the first Asian American film star, and now she becomes the first Asian American to be featured on U.S. currency. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to CBSMoneyWatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Dan Lieberman.
Check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials up 58 points. The NASDAQ up 11. The S&P 500, however, down about 5.5. Top retailers are giving workers a break this Thanksgiving. Walmart, Target, Kohl's, and Best Buy will close their doors this Turkey Day, a practice many companies started in response to the pandemic. Target's CEO called the move a temporary measure that is now the company's new standard. At the same time, the big retail chains are again starting discounts early this year. We'll have Greg's latest forecast and Pam's egg prices next at noon. And then later on Live at 4, it's bow hunting season. And if you ever wondered how bows are made, on our Traveler Throwback Thursday, we'll meet a local bowyer who shows us how it's done. That's today at 4.
Update your floors with 11% off everything at Menards. Enhancing the beauty of your home is easy with our great selection of Mohawk flooring. Carpet adds a soft and luxurious feel to your living space. Laminate flooring is durable and easy to install, making it the perfect choice for active lifestyles. All Mohawk flooring is 11% off right now at Menards.
Save big money. The culture wars never lowered the cost of anything, and overturning Roe v. Wade won't take a single criminal off the street. But Tim Michaels has a culture war agenda. He'd ban abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest, and jail doctors who perform them. And he said gay people shouldn't leave their house. That's his agenda. Tony Evers has a real plan to fire up the economy, create good-paying jobs, and get things done. That's the right plan for Wisconsin.
Hey, we're here at the local farmers market where Informed Choice Insurance Agency is offering fresh local Medicare. Hey, Joe, are you behind this whole check your zip code deal on national TV for extra Medicare benefits?
I don't know. Check your zip code.
Why would I check my zip code?
Because you're in it.
So we get a lot of calls about that guy. It's sad because your local Medicare plans already have those bells and whistles Joe promises.
Don't be fooled by national TV hype. When it comes to your Medicare options, keep it local with Informed Choice Insurance Agency, and their services are free.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
All units, all units. Reports of an abortion at Central Hospital. Officers needed to detain doctor.
If Ron Johnson has his way, he wouldn't just ban abortions. Doctors could go to jail for it. And Johnson's tried for over a decade. He even co-sponsored a bill with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And said if women don't like an abortion ban, they can just move. But it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Flamingos take roost on Bascom Hill just in time for homecoming.
Tomorrow we're live from campus with all the fun festivities your family can take part in.
Plus, we're breaking down a gorgeous weekend and next week's rain chances. That's tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, I'm pitching to Shark Tank's Damon John. We got ranch flavored soda. I'm feeling like this is a no.
I'm out.
Plus, we've got Cheyenne Jackson.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
And let's check in with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report on this Thursday. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. It's still dry out there. The warmth that we're expecting for the weekend is going to help us continue to dry down the crops. I've been calling around to a lot of our local grain elevators, just finding out how the pace of the harvest is going. I was talking with Dylan this morning from down by Cottage Grove. He figured about 70% of the soybeans has already been harvested. He said it's a good crop. Test weights are coming in nice. All of that is falling into place. We're a little uncertain right now as far as corn is concerned, but that's only because farmers are waiting for the warm, dry weather to help draw down the moisture that's in that plant. I said to Dylan, what are you guys worried about as far as transportation? He said that is a moving conversation. So for his particular location, they were using or depending on a lot of railway traffic. They've got a couple different spurs that they can get grain onto rail cars, get it into the marketplace. One big conversation that a lot of folks in Wisconsin are having right now, what is the status of not only the Illinois River, but the Mississippi River in barge traffic? One of the brokers that we talked to said that they're getting reports that barges they normally would depend on to be able to get full are not even half full because of the water levels on the Illinois River and the Mississippi River. People have been emailing me, hey, why don't we try the Great Lakes? What about the port in Milwaukee? Well, guess what? That's not really sized up right now to handle any of our grain trade. It's in the works, but it's not there yet. And then it's back to semis and trying to do it over the road. So really our grain industry right now is trying to pivot with all the conversations happening as far as transportation. And I personally want to give a big shout out to all of those grain managers, all those people that are sitting in the little scale huts watching for tickets and waiting for you to drive over the scale. They are putting in 12-hour days, 7 days a week at this time of the year to try to make sure that they're there when you're ready to deliver your crops. Don't forget to tip your hat and say thank you to them because their life is revolving around the harvest too. Barrel cheese today in Chicago down 6. We've been waiting for this correction to 214.5. 40-pound block cheese up 3/4 cent to 205 3/4. Double A butter standing still, but I get milk production figures out this afternoon, Mark, and tomorrow we may be able to tell a little bit more on that story as to why butter has gotten so expensive.
Well, everybody's cooking, I guess.
Well, there's a couple different things. I'll enlighten you.
All right,
tomorrow.
well, I'll pins and needles. We'll wait till tomorrow.
All right.
Thank you, Pam. Here's Greg now with the warm-up on the way.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see a warm up here. 70 degrees, like I said, the average last day for Madison is October 23rd. So we're kind of right on schedule. Really, we're going to start seeing the pattern shift from a northerly pattern to where we're going to see all the heat out to the west is going to be pulled northeastward ahead of a system. So we're going to kind of flip. The west is going to start seeing a trough and a system dig south. They're going to get cold, snow, and rain while we're going to start warming up ahead of it. So by Saturday, Sunday, we're going to see this warm air pulls basically to the north pretty quickly, and you can see the cold air diving to the west and the west. So we are going to see a system eventually come through. That'll be more Sunday night, Monday night. But the good news is the coldest of the air still stays locked to the north. So although we'll cool down next week, it won't be like we saw earlier this week. Already temperatures are warmer than yesterday, especially as you go further south, almost 20 degrees warmer. We'll see more of that tomorrow. Otherwise, we're going to be approaching somewhat where we should be this time of year, which is the mid to upper 50s. We'll have some cloud cover, light winds. The winds really start turning around tomorrow as that warm front lifts to the north, and then you can start seeing the winds start to crank up pretty good by tomorrow. That'll continue through Friday afternoon, and then Saturday we'll see another push of winds too. As you get here closer, there they come. That'll really drive temperatures up into the 70s. Even 80s are possible down as you get over to Iowa. So it's quite a bit of warm mass. As you can see, Saturday the winds are strong. Cloud cover will be to the north. So overall it'll be a very warm, nice day. For today, we're just seeing light winds, a few clouds out there, 60 degrees in a few spots. We'll cool back down to the mid 40s by this evening, but overall not too bad. Overnight, more cloud cover. You'll see the winds start to turn around, so that'll help keep our temperatures a little warmer, more mid to upper 30s, even a spot staying around 40 by the time you get up tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow the winds will start pushing up. They'll be strong, not quite as strong as they'll see on Saturday and Sunday, but that will drive our temperatures as you get towards noon tomorrow almost to 70, and then in the afternoon we'll probably topping into the low to maybe mid 70s with a few wind shift clouds. But you can see as we get towards there, that front kind of stalls right there as we get towards tomorrow, Friday night, and then it lifts back northward, and that's going to be another push of warm air. Winds, that'll be a story a little bit tomorrow with gust. That'll continue probably Saturday too, so there'll be a little bit of gusty winds. The bigger winds will probably come Sunday, but we are going to see winds throughout the weekend, just to let you know this, because of the warm air does push up. So something to keep in mind, especially as we go towards Sunday, which the winds will definitely get higher as we get to that time frame. So as you see, 73, 74 Sunday. Then the thunderstorms come in. Look like the best shot of rain is going to be Sunday night through Monday. That could be kind of a widespread rain event. And then it becomes more spotty. And Monday, 68 is probably early in the day. I don't think we're going to see much climb in the temperatures that. And then we'll kind of cool back off. But like I said, the next week is cooler, but just not as much as we saw the cold air this week.
Probably more where it should be.
It's getting there. Like I said, by that time we'll be the low 50s for average. So yeah, it's not that far off.
70s this weekend. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right, great. And as with those temperatures, we'll be warming up over the next few days. That isn't stopping a Minnesota ski hill from opening up. The team at Wild Mountain in Taylor's Falls is making snow and getting the place ready for business, even if it's just for a short window. The manager said the hill will likely close this weekend. There's more to come on News 3 Now and noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
What if I told you that we were making lasagna without using any of the typical ingredients? Well, we are, and boy, is it tasty.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Defund the Police radical Mandela Barnes isn't just dangerously wrong on crime. Barnes supported raising Wisconsin's gas tax nearly 30%, while we already pay some of the highest gas taxes in the country. Barnes wants to stop all oil and gas production in America, killing jobs and making prices skyrocket. And while Barnes didn't pay his own taxes, he pushed a $1 billion tax increase on Wisconsin families. We can't afford radical Mandela Barnes. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Everything seems to be getting more and more expensive these days. And it's the same for your heating bills. Since it will cost more to heat your home this winter, USA Insulation wants to give you control over your utility bills. Our premium injection foam keeps the cold outside and your warm, comfortable air inside, right where it belongs. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
Precision engineering, rigorous attention to detail. A Bryant Evolution heating system is so well designed, it's as much of a joy to install as it is to use.
good to go.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
In Madison, contact Heating and Cooling Incorporated to maximize your comfort and energy savings whatever the season.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
Most senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk. Thanks, Ruben. Or how much beef has gone up this year. But I'm not like most senators or any of the other millionaires running for Senate. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I know how hard you work. And I know that by bringing manufacturing home, we create jobs and we lower costs. If we want to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. I'm Mandela Barnes and I approve this message.
You know, it's hard to think of lasagna without thinking about how all those layers of goodness create one incredible dish. Well, today, we're creating a to-die-for dessert, which uses the same layer after layer concept, and the results are nothing short of amazing. The first thing we do is mix some crushed chocolate sandwich cookies with butter and press them into the bottom of a baking dish. While that chills, we beat together some cream cheese with vanilla and powdered sugar until it's smooth. Then we fold in some whipped topping. This goes over the cookie crumb crust. See, it's sort of like building a lasagna. A layer of chocolate pudding goes over that, and back into the fridge it goes. The whole thing gets finished with whipped topping, and after it's chilled, we sprinkle each piece with some mini chocolate chips. All it takes is one forkful, and you'll know why we fell in love with this. I mean, what's not to love about all the layers of goodness? The recipe for what we call our chocolate dessert lasagna is ready and waiting for you on our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a layer after layer way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. I have all this.
Well, it's time to introduce you now to our pet of the week. Dane County Humane Society would like you to meet Dolly. This 3-year-old coonhound loves exploring the outdoors, going for walks, and getting her neck scratched. Dolly's looking for a family who will give her lots of attention and love. She is part of the Lonely Hearts Club, so her adoption fee has been reduced. Dolly is staying in a quiet area of the shelter, so if interested, ask for her at the adoption center. Good-looking girl. Well, dress up your pup in their best Halloween costume and head to Central Bark on Advance Road this Saturday for a Howl-O-Ween party. It runs from noon till 3 and will include local vendors, food trucks, a movie, and a photo backdrop. Your dogs can also enjoy supervised play groups and treats. The entrance fee is $5 with proceeds benefiting the Humane Society. Dogs must be up to date on their vaccines to attend. For more details, go to GiveShelter.org, that is, /events. And last week's pet, Strawberry the gerbil, featured last week, still available, and so is Pumpkin Spice the dog, featured 2 weeks ago. That's the gerbil. I guess we're not going to see Pumpkin Spice. If you're interested in adopting Dolly or checking out all the other animals, go to GiveShelter.org. Here's Greg with one final check of the forecast.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see temperatures well above average. You can see we're going to see 70 degrees for the next few days, and then obviously we'll drop back to where we should be, which is about the upper 50s. But overall, we'll see that temperatures then come back down. So that's what we're seeing. And the screen's not coming up to show you that. So overall, there we go. And we'll get back down to the upper 50s, low 50s by the end of the week. So it'll be a cool